Welcome back to Baselines to Sidelines. If you love baseball analysis with a little edge, a little realism, and a lot of passion, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Nick, and today we got a lot to get into today, starting with something the Rockies fans haven't had much to get excited about until now. The Colorado Rockies just secured their first sweep of the season, taking down the Houston Astros, and this wasn't just luck or a fluke series. This team looks different. After a brutal season last year, we're finally starting to see signs of a squad that's playing with energy, purpose, and maybe even a little edge of its own. We'll break down what's changed, what's actually sustainable, and whether this early spark means anything long term. Then we zoom out and take a look at what's happening around the Major League Baseball this week, the storylines, the surprises, and the teams you need to keep an eye on. And finally, we look ahead as the Rockies hit the road to face the San Diego Padres at Petco Park. What should we expect from that matchup? Can Colorado keep this momentum rolling, or are they about to get a reality check? All that and more. Let's get into it. This is Baselines to Sidelines. All right, welcome back to Baselines to Sidelines. Like I said earlier in the intro, my name is Nick. Let's have some fun. So starting off, huge milestone the Rockies have already hit this week, and that is they got their first sweep of the season. They didn't get swept, like what happened at the beginning of the year with the Miami Marlins. No, they actually swept somebody. This is huge for the Rockies because we're talking about a team that only got one sweep the entire season last season. And also, they got to 6 wins. This is April 8th. They got to six wins by April 8th. They didn't get to 6 wins until early May. I think May 1st or May 2nd was when they got to their 6th win last year. So they're already hitting some milestones that show a new lifeblood in this team. And you can look at this whole series against a Houston Astros team coming into the series against Colorado. This Houston Astros team was top 3, if not number 1, in scoring for baseball. They were top 3. They were one of the best scoring teams in all of baseball, not just American League, MLB as a whole. And coming into a park like Coors Field, you're expecting them to just rake and continue on that tear. And I give a lot of credit to Colorado, a lot of credit. You had a team that was playing with grit. You had a team that was playing with an edge, that they weren't going to come in here and just get pushed around by the Houston Astros. Everybody had Houston pegged, even me a little bit, had Houston pegged to take out Colorado. I mean, you heard me say it in last episode, and I think even the episode before that. The month of April looked like a house of horrors. It still looks like a house of horrors, I'm not going to lie. But you have to feel better about this team. Yeah, attendance is down, and I mean rightfully so. Even with them playing better baseball, the Rockies are still, they still have the blemish of 3 consecutive 100-loss seasons. The past 2 games were an all-time low in franchise history in attendance at 18,000 and 16,000. That speaks volumes. But if Colorado keeps playing the way they've been playing, like how they played against Houston and even a little bit against the Phillies, fans will probably start coming back. Now, you're still going to have everybody makes the joke that Coors Field is Dodger Stadium East because, Dodgers fans travel well. I've been to a Rockies-Dodgers game at Coors Field, and there are a lot of Dodgers fans. A lot of Dodgers fans. So, you're still gonna run into that, but maybe it won't be as significant. That's gonna be something to look at with the Colorado Rockies. And, just diving into these past 3 games, game 1 against Houston, Ryan Feltner was he had no issues after taking that comebacker to the glute against, I believe, the Phillies. Feltner went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 4 runs off of 7 hits, had 2 walks and a strikeout. I mean, for Feltner, could it be better? Yeah, but that's about as darn good as you can ask for playing at Coors Field. Maybe give up 1 or 2 less runs, but it's still Coors Field. It's still a hitter's ballpark. That ball's gonna travel, and so it's really cool to see that Feltner was really in his bag, and he was really working his pitches, his fastball command. Because with Feltner, if the fastball's not there, he can't really use the other pitches in succession. He can't use his other pitches, his slider, his sweeper. He can't really use his other stuff as a complement to the fastball. So the fact that his fastball was playing so well, and he was playing really some good baseball. And the Rockies were able to capitalize also on 2 errors that the Astros committed. One was off of Jeremy Pena, who he missed a routine ground ball. We're talking about a damn near all-star shortstop missing a routine ground ball, and the Rockies were able to capitalize on that. Which, how many times last year was it the Rockies making the errors and the other team punching them in the mouth, getting, pouncing on what the Rockies fumbled, what they messed up on? Now it's the Rockies. It's the other way around, at least for this series. It was the other way around, where the Rockies were able to capitalize on routine mistakes that the Astros were doing. And so it was really fascinating to see, but also it was a refreshing thing to see for Rockies fans. Rockies fans have to be pretty happy right now. They came into a series that it was looking dicey. You had the Astros up 3-0 in the 4th, and then the Rockies were able to climb together an 8-run 5th. And then they didn't let go of the lead. Yeah, the Astros made it a bit of a competitive game going into the 8th and the 9th. But, I mean, damn. The last year, you thought you saw 3-0 going into the 5th, and you're kind of writing the Rockies off at that point. I can even tell you there were times where, watching that game, I would be sitting there going, 5th inning, 6th inning, I don't know if the Rockies have it in them. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that the Rockies were able to garner these runs and get these hits and really make Houston work. And Houston was just not able to get the job done in the first game. Now, in the second game, it was Kyle Freeland, man. Kyle freaking Freeland was just, you want to talk about somebody who was in their bag, man. Kyle Freeland was in his bag and then some. He pitched an absolute gem, going 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Like, his knuckle curve was just breaking at the right time. His four-seam fastball was playing well. His cutter, which he didn't have a cutter until, no, sorry, it was the changeup. He didn't have a changeup until 2 years ago. His changeup was playing well. It was diving inside and freezing hitters. Like that, it, when it's so fascinating to watch Kyle Freeland when he is on, when he is the man. Watch how he gets off the mound. If you're able to go back, rewatch that game, and going into the 4th and 5th inning, watch how he gets on and off the mound. He has a strut to himself. He's puffing his chest out. Yeah, I'm the man. When Kyle Freeland is on fire, he puffs his chest out. He's vocal. He's the guy. And it's really, that is the Kyle Freeland that Rockies fans you want to see. If you're a Rockies fan, you want to see that from Kyle Freeland. Because, let's be honest, he's the ace of the team. It's not Michael Lorenzen, who they brought in. It's not Tomoyuki Sugano, which I have to talk about him at some point. It's not Feltner. It's not Dollander. It's not da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's Kyle Freeland. He's the ace. He is the dog. And, on some pitching staffs, he probably would be the 4th or 5th pitcher in that starting rotation. But in Colorado, he's the ace. He's the dog. And you want to see Freeland going out there and being Kyle Freeland. Working that knuckle curve, working that four-seam fastball, working that changeup, that cutter, using his arsenal of pitches that this new Rockies staff has really tried to get him to work more of. Expand his arsenal. Expand what Kyle Freeland can do. Drew Goodman and Ryan Spilborghs, they did a fantastic job explaining this. But part of the reason why the new pitching staff with Alon Leishman and Gibbs and all these guys, they're out there to really, they want them to be out there with this arsenal of pitches so that there is no pattern to pick up. There's no way the hitter can't really guess what is coming next, because there's just so many pitches. Is he going to throw a cutter? Is he going to throw a changeup? Knuckle curve, slider, fastball, sweeper. It makes the hitter work more. It makes the hitter think more than just hitting. And that is something that you saw if you watched that game. There were a lot of hitters that were uncomfortable. I mean, he froze a couple of them on strikeouts. And it was really awesome to see that Freeland was in his bag today, or a couple of days ago. It was good to see for Freeland, and then you had the complement of the hits. You had Mickey Moniak with a 2-run home run. You had Willie Castro with a 2-run home run. And then the Rockies just never looked back. They were able to go out and in that second game, they were just able to go out there and step on their throats, make it uncomfortable, and also give a hell of a lot of credit to Antonio Senzatella, who he went from a starter to a long relief bullpen pitcher, and he pitched the last 2 innings. He pitched the rest of the 7th, he pitched the 8th, and then he pitched the 9th. And done. That was it. The Rockies didn't have to use any more pitchers. Now, they had Lorenzen warming up, like doing light warm-up in the bullpen if they really needed him. But I think that was also kind of more of a mental thing for Lorenzen, because I think they were setting up for today's game that happened. But again, give a hell of a lot of credit to Senzatella. He was out there as well. He was out there going 2 2/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, no walks, no runs, no hits. I mean, he had his stuff too. And to see a team be held to 1 run at Coors Field, easily the most hitter-friendly ballpark in all of the major leagues, that is just awesome to see. If you're a Rockies fan, you have to be excited about that. The Rockies went out and they played complimentary baseball where they had solid pitching from A to B, and the hits followed. How many times last year where it was solid pitching, no hits? Or a boatload of hits, but the pitchers can't get anybody out? How many times last year? Countless. Several times last year. You could easily say 100 times last year. This is different. This is a new edge to the team, and it's a team that's willing to go out and fight and go out for the next guy up, get a hit, bring that guy in. It's a lot of unselfish baseball, and it's a young team that is just willing to go out there and do whatever it takes. TJ Rumfield, my God, that dude looks so good. Like, I've said it before and I'm saying it again. Colorado may have won this trade so far. I haven't looked up Angel Shivi's stats, the pitcher that the Yankees picked up in the trade. I haven't looked up his stats yet in a minute. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know. But Rumfield has been out there and getting hits, getting home runs. He has been one of those just on a tear. And then Brett Sullivan, he's been on a tear. It's been really good complimentary baseball. And as a Rockies fan, you have to be really happy about that and hopeful. That's the one thing I want to tell Rockies fans is be hopeful. Not overly hopeful where, you're setting unrealistic goals. Because mind you, this is still a team that very much can lose 100 games. This team is very still much in that path. That path doesn't seem as dark now, right now. But that path is still there. So I want to be very clear. The Colorado Rockies are very much still a team that has a lot of work, a lot of fine-tuning, and is probably not going to stack up all of these wins. Because they still got a hell of a buzzsaw to deal with in April, which I'll get into in a little bit. But I think what I want to take away from these 3 games, and I'll quickly go over the third game against Houston, which happened today. Again, I'm recording this on April 8th. But the Rockies came out and they said they're not gonna get pushed around by Houston, which was, again, refreshing to see. Absolutely, absolutely refreshing to see. But I also want to pump my own brakes, but pump everybody else's brakes of this is still going to be a team that is probably going to go on some losing streaks and very much has the capability of losing 100 games this year. But it's also a team to be right now, in the moment, excited about. Really looking at and being like, this is different. You're seeing them. They preached it all spring training. Aggressiveness on the base pass. Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. Well, damn, they've been aggressive. They've been out there stealing these bases, making stolen base attempts. They've been out there doing what they said, trying to help get these meaningful hits. They are top 5 in baseball right now in stolen bases. This is a team that is going to be aggressive. They're not afraid to get out there and steal bases. You got to look at this team and go, all right, this is something. And yeah, I don't know what else to say other than there's an element of that Rockies hope. And this is me, I grew up a Rockies fan. I will admit that. But this is me taking off my purple glasses. When I go in here to record, the purple glasses are off. And this is me just reading and looking at the scope of things. And if you're a Rockies fan, you have to look at this and go, this is different. This is exciting, and this is good. This is good baseball. Good baseball. For 4 games. 4 games, there's been good baseball. Can they continue? That is going to be the bigger thing. Now, the game today, game 3, I mean, the Rockies they took a 1-0 lead in the first and they didn't look back. They took a 1-0 lead and then they did a five-run inning in the second. And then they just tacked on a little bit more. And then they also just shut down Houston. Houston was only able to garner 1 run in the second. Beyond that, Lorenzen went 5 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And then Agnos came in. He went 3 1/3 inning. Again, if you're a Rockies fan, you got to look at the stat and be like, they only used 2 pitchers. And the night before, they only used 2 pitchers. And then the night before that, I think they used maybe 3 or 4. But you have to look at that and go, damn. Because how many times did it more look like what I'm looking at with the Houston sheet, where they used 6 pitchers? How many times did you see that? Where it was 4, 5, 6 pitchers, they're burning out their bullpen. Rockies aren't burning their bullpen right now. And their bullpen has one of the best ERAs in baseball currently. Through the homestand, they have a 1.67 ERA. Through the homestand at Coors Field. Again, think about that. Coors Field. That bullpen has a 1.67 ERA. That's damn good baseball. And they have 29 strikeouts. Again, at Coors Field. This is not me trying to be the all hypety-hype Mr. Purple. This is talking about real stats. Real meat on the bone. That if you're a Rockies fan, you gotta go. Oh my God. This is something. Again, it's a small sample size. Compared to a 162 game season, itty bitty sample size. But it's a sample size that you can go, can they build off of this? Can they actually go out and continue this not at Coors Field? Can they continue this at a place like Petco Park? Again, we're going to get into that. To kind of wrap this segment up, and something I'm just kind of drilling in. Look at this Rockies team in this 3 to 4 game sample size. And you look at a team that is really committed to winning and committed to changing their ways. How many times in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, how many times as a Rockies fan were you, the Rockies fans out there, being able to say that? I don't think much. I really don't think much. So think about that as they head into this next series. And let's hope, if you're a Rockies fan, let's hope that they can continue this forward. I'm kind of hoping for it because I want to talk about fun baseball. I don't want to talk about doom and gloom baseball. It's more fun to talk about happy baseball. The Dodgers reporters get to do it all the time. The Yankees reporters get to do it all the time. The Cincinnati Reds reporters, they're getting to do it now. I want to talk about happy, fun baseball. I don't want to talk about doom and gloom baseball. So I'm hopeful. I'm absolutely hopeful. But I think that's going to wrap this segment up. And Speaking of good baseball, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rest of the MLB. There's been some fun games. I think the one game that kind of is on everybody's minds. Well, there's two games I have to say. The one is 2 days ago. It was the Atlanta Braves against the Los Angeles Angels. You have Walt Weiss tackling Jorge Soler to the ground. And I apologize, I just realized he is actually younger than my dad. But he is 62 years old. So apologize about that, Weiss. I thought you were a little bit older than that. But I mean, the old man tackling Jorge Soler in the middle of the scrum. I get why he was doing it. I want to be very clear. I get why he tackled Jorge Soler, because he was trying to really break up the fight, and one of the easiest ways is to get one of the guys who's essentially starting the fight to the ground. And give credit to Walt, man. That was really wild to see. And it was an that was one of those you didn't see it coming. They were kind of jawing at each other, and you had the pitch that kind of went over Jorge Soler's head. I mean, yeah, that's a little bit of okay, what are you doing there? But man, that escalated really, really quickly. And I've seen the fight from all angles. And also, can I say, what the hell is Ronaldo Lopez doing? Still holding on to the baseball and throwing punches? Like, drop the ball, dude. What the hell? Like, I mean, he wasn't throwing absolute haymakers, but my God. What are you doing? It just I don't get me wrong, I kind of like I kind of enjoy a good benches clearing scuff up every once in a while, but at the same time, these two are somebody's idol. Some kid has a Jorge Soler jersey on right now, imitating his swing, imitating how how he plays on the field. Like, you have these kids looking up to you, and I get it, it's your livelihood, and, if somebody's trying to take your head off and, and get you injured, well, that's food off your table. I get it. But at the same time, like, come on. It's one of those that it's a bad example for these kids, man. It's not a good example. I'm definitely glad that the brawl was able to be broken up relatively quickly. I've seen some of these benches clearing brawls. The most famous one I could think of was Pirates Cincinnati Reds, where they got into a brawl, the brawl would get broken up, and then another brawl would happen, the brawl would get broke. Like, that brawl started, stop, probably about 5 or 6 times, including the managers getting into it. So I'm glad that this one got cleared up pretty quickly. But it's, again, and I'm gonna sound like an old grungy guy, whatever. But sorry, trying to find my words here. There are kids looking up to these players. There are kids wanting to be these players, wanting to, do what these guys do, imitate their swing, imitate how they take a ground ball, their first step on a throw, like all of that. How Ronaldo Lopez throws a curveball. There's a kid out there trying to do that. So, as fun as it is, it's also not great. But at the same time, wildly entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, wildly entertaining. But yeah, that was wild to see. And then the other big game you had Shohei Ohtani. I mean, being Shohei freaking Ohtani, and he pitched some pretty good innings, and he was the man. Trying to find his stat. I apologize. But I mean, he had he had one of the longest scoreless inning streaks. So he had a streak of like 30 some odd innings without a run scored on him. You can't deny this is a generational player. This is a one of one. We're never gonna see this again with Shohei Ohtani. You're never gonna see this again. And then he goes out there after he gets pulled. Yeah, he has a couple of strikeouts. I mean, just look at his season still currently, and he's on a tear. He's the man, the myth, the legend right now. He is Shohei Ohtani. You can't deny his greatness, and you can't deny that the Dodgers have easily the best player in baseball. Easily. And it's not even close. Shohei Ohtani is a one of one. And it's really spectacular to see, and it's something that baseball fans shouldn't take for granted. Dodgers fans, don't take this for granted, because you are looking at truly a once-in-a-lifetime player. That's what I always tell Nuggets fans as well in basketball when it comes to Nikola Jokic. We're never going to see another Nikola Jokic, just like we're never going to see another Shohei Ohtani in our lifetime. These players only come around once in a generation, and it's a treat to watch. Yeah, it's the Dodgers. Yeah, it's their payroll. Yeah, you can say all of that. I griped about that for 2 years. I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, just on a baseball, like pure break it down to the game, there's nobody out there like Shohei. Nobody. And it's just amazing to see. He has one of the most fluid swings, and yet he can also go out there and pitch a gem on the diamond. He can go 6, 7 innings, and then he can also go in and DH. And then he can the next day go out and be a DH and hit 3 home runs. Name another player like that right now. There isn't any. There isn't any. And it's really cool to see. is utterly cool to see. And yeah, he's a one of one, man. He is an absolute one of one. And then another team I want to talk about right now, because they're not getting a lot of love right now. And I was on them from the start. I want to be clear. When I was talking about my predictions about who's going to be division leaders, who's going to get into the wild card race, all of that, I was on this team from the start. But the Cincinnati Reds, man, they're the top of the NL Central right now at 8-4. I mean, they have a -2 run differential right now. But I mean, they're playing good baseball. They're playing really well on the road. 5-1 on the road. And they're just playing damn good baseball. Their starting pitching is unfreaking real. And Hunter Green is still on the injured list. What's going to happen when Hunter Green comes back? That starting pitching's only going to get better. Like, they have a team. They have some players. And I'm just, man, it's truly just fun to see. And it is fun to see it's just fun to see the Reds play. And you have Ellie De La Cruz, who is just a base stealing machine. And I'm not going to say Ellie De La Cruz is one of the greatest defensemen, but hitters and base runners, he is damn good. He is damn good. And I'm really liking the Cincinnati Reds. They are going to be right there in the wild card race. I don't know if they have enough to be a division winner, just because I think the Brewers are just that damn freaking good. I think the Brewers are going to have a stranglehold. Like, yes, the Cincinnati Reds, as of April 8th, are leading the NL Central right now. But I think the Milwaukee Brewers are just going to run away with it. They're going to have that stranglehold. I mean, they're honestly the more complete team. But don't count out those Cincinnati Reds. Don't count them out. They're going to be right there in that wild card race. And they're going to be right in the mix with everybody else fighting for that wild card spot. I mean, there are 3 teams you could easily make the case for. You also kind of 4. I don't know about the Cubs quite yet. I think the Cubs still have some stuff to figure out. But the Pirates, the Cardinals, and the Reds, easily you could be talking about in the wild card race come August. Come August and September, I think you're really going to be talking about one, if not all 3 of those teams. Like, the NL Central is fascinating, is a fascinating one to see. And it's one that I'm going to be paying probably the most attention to outside of the NL West. Because, I mostly cover the Rockies, but the NL Central is sneaky good. I don't know if it's going to be as powerhousey as the AL East, But man, the NL Central just looks good. They look good, and the Cincinnati Reds are going to be right in that mix. They have one of the best starting rotations. They have a good bullpen. They've got hitters all through the lineup. I mean, you can't deny what the Cincinnati Reds are right now. Yes, they lost to the Miami Marlins today. I mean, they're playing competitive baseball. I mean, you have Stewart, you have De La Cruz, you have McLean, you have Friedel, Stevenson. They're they've got a pretty good lineup, a pretty darn good lineup. You got Suarez. I forgot about Suarez as well. Like, there's just player after player after player all through this lineup. It's gonna be a good team. They're gonna be. I said I don't think they have right this year. I don't think they have what it takes to take the NL Central, but they're gonna be. I will not be surprised in the least if they're in the wild card. If they either take that last wild card spot or they take the first wild card spot. Watch this team. Be ready. Come August, they're going to be in that mix. And I think the last team I want to talk about is the team that I'm most concerned about right now, I think I want to talk about is the Seattle Mariners. They were in that ALCS. They were right there away. They were right there from going to the World Series. They're not off to a good start. They're not off to a good start at all. And they're one of those teams that I don't know how they're going to fare come if they keep on the slide they're on. They're middle of the pack right now when it comes to hitting, but it's like they're right now their team batting average is about a 184, and their run differential, I just saw it, but I want to say their run differential is like a -2. It's I'm concerned, man. They do not look like the Seattle Mariners that they had in the playoffs. And granted, yeah, that's not quite the same team, but man, they're off to not a great start right now, and I'm kind of watching them and going, "Oh boy. I hope they can turn it around. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for those Mariners, man." The city of Seattle they really need to see some good outings from that team, but I mean, just batting average alone, they're 30th, and then on base percentage, they're dead last as well. Slugging, dead last. OPS, dead last. Again, it's 12 games into the season, so I'm not overly freaking out. But if I'm a Mariners fan, I'm going, oh boy, The only thing really keeping this team in games right now is the pitching. But the pitching's only going to take you so far. Cal Raleigh needs to get back to what Cal Raleigh was last year. And I really hope the Mariners can get back to it, but they have some work that needs to be done. They really do. But all right, I think that's going to wrap up the kind of the overall of the MLB. I wanted to really highlight those three teams and also talk about that wild fight. Like, that was just crazy to see. Um, and then let's quickly dive into, we have a little bit of time left. Let's dive into the San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies matchup. It's going to be a tough matchup. Petco Park is a tough place to play. Can Colorado keep that momentum rolling? I mean, they certainly can. It's a relatively hitters friendly ballpark. I'm hoping they can. I mean, they have the momentum right now. They have the juice right now. But you also have a team that they have some Rockies killers on that team. If you're a Rockies fan, you're gonna know some of these people. Like, they've got Xander Bogaerts. He's kind of a Rocky killer. Jake Cronenworth. He's a little bit of a Rocky killer. Manny Machado. He's an absolute Rocky killer. And then you have Fernando Tatis Jr., the Rocky killer of all Rocky killers. I mean, outside of Smith, who the Rockies saw against Houston, Fernando Tatis Jr. is a Rocky killer of Rocky killers. He has one of the top batting averages against the Rockies. I mean, he always plays stellar against them. So that's going to be one that the pitchers are going to really have to play extremely well. And if the Rockies are going to come out of this, they're going to need good complementary hitting. They're going to need TJ Rumfield to keep his pace up with the hits, the singles, all that. I think if the Rockies are going to at least steal a game in the series, Kimoniak has to hit a home run, definitely. And I mean, the Tovar, who has had a little bit of a struggle, he's going to have to be out there getting hits, getting runs, driving guys in. Same with Doyle. Doyle's been on a bit of a cold streak right now. His batting average is like 161 right now. He needs to heat up if the Rockies are going to have a good shot at the minimum, steal a game from the San Diego Padres. We'll see how it goes, though. They're definitely a team that, if they want to, they can go out there and take it. And it's going to be an interesting one to watch, and I'm excited to see what the Rockies can do against a really good San Diego Padres team. I mean, this Padres team is going to be one that they're going to be absolutely in the wild card mix. They're going to be right there. They're going to be hunting for a wild card spot. They are just too good of a team not to be. And I hope that the Rockies can really be out there and, put up some good put up some good runs against the Padres, but we shall see. I mean, their pitchers, they have about a middle of the road pitching staff right now. I mean, ERA is about a 3.82, which is literally right there. They're 15th in ERA. And sorry, I apologize. And they're 14th in strikeouts. So, I mean, this isn't a world-beating pitching staff, but they still have some darn good pitchers on their team. So don't count these Padres out. Don't look at their stats and go, oh, the Rockies can absolutely beat them. It's a division rival. Everything means more. And yeah, it's early in the season, but if you want to be that team, you got to punch them in the mouth early. You got to be the team that goes out there and gets 1 or 2 runs off of Walker Buehler or Estrada. Like that's what this team needs to do. And I'm really fascinated to see how the Rockies play against their old teammate, German Marquez, which I think he's slated to pitch Saturday or Sunday. I want to say Sunday. He's going to be fun to watch the Rockies play against because there's history there. I mean, Marquez has the all-time strikeouts record in franchise history for the Rockies, and he's an unbelievable he was an unbelievable player for the Rockies for quite a few years, and I'm excited to see how he plays and how the Rockies play against him. That's going to be the matchup I'm going to be watching the most. I think between him and Walker Buehler, it's going to be one to get excited about. But I think that's going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun doing it. Talking about the Rockies on a 4-game heater right now. Diving into some overall MLB news, and then getting set and ready for for the series against the San Diego Padres. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on X, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. This is Baselines to Sidelines. Nick out.